Mockingjay is the third and final book in Suzanne Collins' The Hunger Games trilogy. It continues the story of Katniss Everdeen, a teenage girl who has become a symbol of rebellion against the oppressive capital in the dystopian nation of Panem. The book begins with Katniss recovering from the events of the previous installment, Catching Fire. She discovers that her home, District 12, has been destroyed by the capital. She is taken to District 13, an underground stronghold of the rebellion, where she meets President Alma Coin and learns about the larger resistance movement against the capital. The rebels want Katniss to serve as the Mockingjay, a symbol of hope and resistance, to rally the districts in their fight against the capital. Initially reluctant, she eventually agrees to become the Mockingjay on the condition that her fellow Hunger Games victors are granted immunity and the opportunity to rescue Peeta Mellark, her love interest and fellow tribute, who has been captured by the capital. Katniss Everdeen proves to be an effective Mockingjay for several reasons. 1. Symbolic importance. As the victor of the Hunger Games and a survivor of the capital's oppressive regime, Katniss embodies resilience and defiance. Her image as the Mockingjay symbolizes the rebellion's fight against the capital and inspires hope in the oppressed districts. Her personal story of survival resonates with the people, making her a powerful symbol of resistance. 2. Propaganda appeal. Katniss possesses a natural charisma and authenticity that shines through in her propaganda videos. Her genuine emotions and experiences connect with the viewers, evoking empathy and motivating them to join the rebellion. Her raw and unfiltered persona makes her relatable to the masses, giving her a strong appeal as a spokesperson for the cause. 3. Courage and determination. Despite enduring tremendous personal loss and trauma, Katniss remains resilient and determined. Her unwavering courage to confront the capital and her willingness to sacrifice herself for the greater good inspire others to stand up against oppression. Her bravery in the face of danger makes her an influential figurehead for the rebellion. 4. Strategic thinking and survival skills. Katniss possesses exceptional survival skills honed through her experiences in the Hunger Games. She is a skilled archer, adaptable in various environments, and possesses a sharp instinct for survival. These abilities make her a valuable asset in executing daring missions against the capital, boosting the rebellion's chances of success. 5. Authenticity and relatability. Unlike the polished and scripted speeches of other rebel leaders, Katniss remains true to herself. She does not conform to the capital's expectations of a propaganda figure. Her authenticity resonates with the people, who appreciate her unfiltered honesty and vulnerability. They see her as one of them, fighting for their rights and freedom, which further strengthens her influence as the Mockingjay. 6. Emotional connection. Katniss's personal relationships, particularly with Peeta and Gale, add emotional depth to her role as the Mockingjay. Her love for Peeta and her friendship with Gale create emotional stakes and add a human dimension to the rebellion. The audience can empathize with her personal struggles and emotional turmoil, forging a deeper connection with her and the cause she represents. In summary, Katniss Everdeen's symbolic importance, authenticity, courage, survival skills, relatability, and emotional connection to the people of Panem all contribute to her effectiveness as the Mockingjay. Her ability to inspire hope, rally the districts, and lead the rebellion makes her a crucial figure in the fight against the capital's tyranny. Katniss begins to film propaganda videos that are broadcasted across Panem, inspiring people to rise up against the capital. However, she struggles with the weight of her role, the loss of her loved ones, and the trauma she has experienced. As the rebellion gains momentum, Katniss becomes increasingly aware of the costs of war and the gray areas of morality that exist even within her own side. Throughout the story, Katniss also grapples with her complicated feelings for Peeta, who has been brainwashed by the capital and now sees her as an enemy. Meanwhile, her childhood friend Gale Hawthorne becomes more involved in the rebellion, causing tension between them. Gale focuses on using his knowledge of explosives and combat tactics to target the infrastructure and military capabilities of the capital and the more affluent districts. Gale's approach to warfare is characterized as ruthless and calculated. He believes in dealing devastating blows to the capital and its supporters, aiming to dismantle their power and influence. Gale's mindset is influenced by his personal experiences, including witnessing the destruction of District 12 and the suffering caused by the capital's oppressive regime. His desire for justice and revenge fuels his determination to bring down the capital by any means necessary. Katniss, on the other hand, initially struggles with Gale's ruthless methods. She values human life and is haunted by the loss and violence she has witnessed. While she shares Gale's desire to end the capital's tyranny, she also feels the weight of the moral consequences and the potential harm inflicted on innocent people in the process. Katniss's reservations about Gale's tactics deepen when she witnesses firsthand the devastating consequences of a bombing in District 13 that kills innocent civilians. This event further strains her relationship with Gale and leads her to question the morality of the rebellion's methods. Ultimately, Katniss finds herself at odds with Gale's approach, as she desires a more compassionate and restrained approach to the conflict. Her experiences and personal growth throughout the trilogy lead her to value human life and seek a path that preserves the best of humanity rather than perpetuating a cycle of violence. While she understands the need to fight back against the Capitol, she also seeks a way to do so without losing her own humanity. As the rebellion progresses, the Capitol fights back fiercely, using brutal tactics and causing widespread devastation. Katniss and her team, including her best friend, Gale, and a group of skilled rebels, undertake dangerous missions to disrupt the Capitol's operations. Eventually, a plan is devised to infiltrate the Capitol and rescue Peeta and other captured victors. The rescue mission is successful, but Peeta's mind has been deeply damaged by the Capitol's manipulation, and he is no longer the same person Katniss once knew. As the rebellion reaches its climax, the districts unite and launch a final assault on the Capitol. Katniss, driven by her personal vendetta against President Snow, takes a leading role in the assault. However, she discovers that President Coin and the rebels have their own agenda, and she becomes suspicious of their true intentions. In a climactic twist, Katniss realizes that Coin is just as power-hungry and ruthless as Snow. She makes the decision to kill Coin instead of Snow, believing that Snow's death would only bring about another dictator. This act sparks chaos and confusion, leading to a riot in which Snow is trampled to death by the enraged citizens of the Capitol. In the aftermath, Panem undergoes a transitional period, and a new government is established. Katniss is initially imprisoned for her actions but is eventually pardoned and returns to District 12, which is slowly being rebuilt. The book ends with Katniss, now emotionally scarred and forever changed by the events of the rebellion, attempting to find peace and healing in the company of her loved ones. Mockingjay explores themes of war, propaganda, sacrifice, power, and the consequences of violence. It delves into the complexities of rebellion and the moral ambiguity of fighting for a cause, ultimately painting a bleak yet hopeful picture of a society rebuilding from the ashes. Mockingjay delves deeply into the themes of war and humanity, examining the moral complexities and emotional toll of armed conflict. Here's how the book explores these themes. 1. Brutality and loss of innocence. The book portrays the horrors and brutality of war, highlighting the devastating consequences it has on both individuals and society as a whole. Characters experience physical and psychological trauma, and the destruction caused by the conflict is evident throughout Panem. The narrative emphasizes the loss of innocence as characters are forced to confront the harsh realities of war, challenging their beliefs and ideals. 2. Moral ambiguity. Mockingjay explores the moral ambiguity of war, demonstrating that both sides can engage in morally questionable actions. The Capitol's oppressive regime and their use of violence are condemned, but the rebellion is not portrayed as entirely righteous either. The rebels employ ruthless tactics, causing collateral damage and sacrificing innocent lives for the greater cause. This moral gray area forces characters, particularly Katniss, to question their own actions and grapple with the ethical implications of their choices. 3. Manipulation and propaganda. The book also highlights the manipulation and propaganda employed during times of war. The Capitol and the rebellion both use propaganda to shape public opinion, control narratives, and rally support. Katniss, as the Mockingjay, becomes a pawn in this propaganda war, questioning the authenticity of her own role and the messages being disseminated. The exploration of propaganda sheds light on the power dynamics and manipulation at play during times of conflict. 4. Loss of humanity. War often strips individuals of their humanity, pushing them to commit acts they never thought possible. Characters in Mockingjay, including Katniss, Peeta, and Gale, struggle with their own inner demons as they grapple with the violence and loss they have experienced. They witness the dehumanization of others and the erosion of their own values, prompting them to question who they have become in the midst of the war. 5. Healing and hope. Amidst the chaos and devastation, Mockingjay also explores the resilience of the human spirit and the potential for healing and hope. Characters like Katniss and Primrose strive to rebuild their lives and find meaning in the aftermath of war. The book emphasizes the importance of compassion, empathy, and the preservation of humanity in the face of adversity. Overall, Mockingjay presents a nuanced examination of war and its impact on humanity. It challenges the reader to question the justifications and consequences of armed conflict, while also highlighting the indomitable nature of the human spirit and the potential for healing and hope even in the darkest of times.